What does the right side need? Okay, a 5 here and a 5 here. Now I'm putting that little dot there just to remind you you are multiplying. Okay, here's the deal. When all the denominators match, you can cross them out. So look, watch. Gone, gone, gone. And then you only have to solve the top. So this is a negative 6 plus 1 times x is 1x. 1 times 2 is, and then 3 times 5 is 15. So if you have a common denominator all the way across the equation, you're allowed to cross it out. If even one of them doesn't match, you're not allowed to do that step anymore. Okay? Then from here, I'm going to drop my railroad tracks, and I'm going to solve. Now, before I solve, I'm going to combine the like terms. If it's a minus 6 and a 2, how many is that together? Minus 4. So really, this is a 1x minus 4 equals 15. How do I get rid of the minus 4? Okay, plus 4 plus 4. And then that gives me 1x is 19, but is 1x different than x? No, they're the same. So x is 19. Okay? Alright, go down please to number 4. Okay, look at it. You're going to need to break this one down yourself. So if it's an x squared minus 4, what method is that? Okay, perfect squares or square roots. Yep. Perfect squares. So just like on your homework the last 3 days, you might have to break the bottom down yourself, but the solving's the same. So it'll be negative 2 over square root of x squared is x, square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. So a plus 2 and a minus 2. Now notice, I'm making this fraction a little bit bigger because I know I might have to fix it. Okay, and then on the other side, same thing. Okay, I'm going to put my x plus 2 on the bottom, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space because I know I'm going to have to get a common denominator. Okay, look at the 3 on top fraction. What does it need to match on the bottom? It's got the minus, it needs the plus 2. And then on my right side fraction, it has a plus 2, but it needs the minus 2. Okay? And then from there, if all the bottoms match, you can cross them out. So they all have a plus 2 and a minus 2, so they can all cross out. And then you're just left with whatever was on the top. Okay, so that'd be a 3x and a plus 6. What was in front of that, though? You remember right here? That minus 2 as well. So negative 2 plus 3x plus 6 equals, other side, 2x minus 4. So far, so good? Drop your railroad tracks. Okay, and then I can combine, if my negative 2 and my 6, if they're already together, I'm just going to combine them before I cancel them out. So negative 2 and 6 is really 3x plus 4. Okay, so I do 6 minus 2 leaves me a positive 4 left over, and now I'm going to undo. We want to bring the baby to the mama, so we're going to minus the 2x. What is 3x minus 2x? 1x, so I'm just going to put x plus 4. Or 1x, sure. Now, are the 4 and the negative 4 going to cross out? If they're opposite sides, no. How do I get rid of this plus 4? And will minus and minus cross out? No, you owe me $4, then you borrow 4 more. Now you owe me 8. Yeah? Good? Yes?
So basically, all this is doing is just adding in...
Solving at the end, correct. So you get a common denominator, you cancel out the common denominator, and then you solve whatever's left over from the top. Okay? Alright, turn over to the back. We're going to do like 2 more. Okay, I guess we covered common denominators enough that this turned out to be pretty easy. Okay, take a look for me please at number 7. And then to make number 7 most like one of the ones on your homework, turn one of the b's into a squared. Okay, just to kind of change it. So I'm going to make this b down here a squared. Because there's one on your homework like that, and I don't want you to be confused. So it's going to be b minus 4 over 5b squared equals 14 over 5b plus 2 over what if there's nothing there? 1. Good. Okay, so look at the bottoms. They all have to match each other. What does the 5b need? Okay, it needs a squared, but how am I going to get a b squared? By putting another b. Yeah? Now, is 5bb the same as 5b squared? Yes, because I now have 2 of them. Okay? I know, I was like, she doesn't know. Okay, and then I'm timesing by 5b squared on this one as well. Okay? Then from here, do they all have a 5b squared on the bottom? Yes. Then cross it out, cross it out, cross it out. So on the left side, I have b minus 4 that I'm bringing down. That was what was on the top, equals. What is this now? 14b. And what is this now? Okay, now if it has a 10b squared, now keep in mind I changed this and didn't work the numbers out, but how would you have to do it if there's a b squared in it? T-chart. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to have to bring all of my terms over to the same side. So minus b and minus b. What is 14b if I take away one of them? Okay, so this is now 10b squared plus 13b. And then what do I do with my minus 4 over there? Okay, I'd have to bring it across, which would make it a positive. So it'd be 0 equals 10b squared plus 13b plus 4. And then from there, you would do a t-chart. Now, since I made these numbers up, the numbers in the t-chart aren't going to work. They have to kind of be set up like that. Okay, but you would do a t-chart. What would your number at the top be? 10 times 4 is 40. And actually, it almost works. What about 4 and 10? What does that add to? 14. But what do I need it to add to? 13. So it's like it's close, but it doesn't really work. But you get the idea. If you're missing a squared, you just have to put one more of that letter. So will you look at your homework, which one that happens on? It's number 4. Or wait, no, it's number 3, sorry. Okay, so look, this one's already worked out for you, obviously. But see how that's a 6b? So I had to multiply by another b. So if you want to just kind of keep that in mind, that's how you solve it if you're just missing one of the letters and you need it to be squared. Okay, last one that we're going to work, please, is number 8. Okay, take a look at number 8, right next to the one that we just did. How are we going to factor this first fraction right here? Divide by 5. So I'm going to put GCF divide by 5. Okay, so I have this now. 3 over 5 in the front. X plus 2, very good. Because the 5x just leaves an x. The 10 divided by 5 leaves a plus 2. Okay, then from here, I have minus, leave a little bit of space. 4 over 5. And then equals, leave a little bit of space. 1 over x plus 2. And then remember, whatever each fraction is missing, you put it on top and on bottom so they match. So what does the 4 fraction need? Needs an x plus 2. If I'm going to put it on bottom, I have to also put it on top. Then for my last fraction, what does that one need? 5. So I'm going to put the 5 here in the front, here in the front. And then remember, that's a 5 times 1. You're not adding, you're multiplying. Okay? So across the bottoms, what happens if they all have the same thing? Gone, gone, gone. And then across the top, I have my 3. Am I distributing a 4? What else? A minus 4. Good. Okay? So it'll be 3 times negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Minus 8. Very good. And then equals, what's this? 5. Because remember, you're doing the 5 times the one that was already there. Okay? Then from there, what is 3 and minus 8 combined? Negative 5. Good. So I'm going to take, since they're already on the same side, I just can put them together. So 3 minus 8 is a negative 5. And it doesn't matter if you list the 4x or the 5 first. That doesn't matter. What do I get rid of next? Add the 5. That gives me 10. and then divide by -4. 2.5, thank you. Okay, and if you wanted to just leave it as -10/4, that's fine. Okay? Alright, take a look at your homework. We're going to do 2 of them together. Just to get you started, and then remember, this homework counts as what? Extra credit. Okay, if you didn't hear that, this is going to replace a 0 for another homework if you haven't done one. Okay, so let's do, you want to pick one off the front? 6. Okay, take a look at number 6. How are we going to break down the bottom on number 6? Can I do square root? No. What do they have in common? They both have an x. Okay? So I'm going to GCF and divide by x. So I have 1 over x in the front. And then my x squared leaves an x. My minus x leaves a -1. Good? Okay, plus, leave a little bit of space. 1 over x equals, and now look, this is the exact same bottom that I already had over here. So when I write it, I'm going to split it up the same way, an x and an x minus 1. Okay, then you look across the bottoms to see who doesn't match, and how do we make it match? Middle fraction needs a what? Good. Okay. And then when all the bottoms match, you can cancel it out. So I'm going to times that all off. And then remember, after you do that, it's just the top left over. So I'm going to have 1 plus 1x, good? And then what about 1 times -1? Equals 5. Then I'm going to combine like terms. If my 1 and my -1 are already on the same side, what's that add up to? So 1 and -1 adds up to 0. Well, then it's just a 1x left over equals 5. Yep. Good?
Yes, let's do 2 in the front and 2 in the back.
Oh, but we want to have time for our Rams write it.
What is back?
Okay, what about... let's do number 2. Yeah, that counts as your homework. Yes.
Wait. So it goes to the district and it counts to our homework?
I'm counting it as your homework grade.
Okay, but...
It's
the district, and I don't really, you know me in school don't go well together. So, like, what's the minimum I can do?
We'll talk about it. We're almost done. This is our last little one. Okay, look across the bottom. What do we need to fix?
Whoa, 2.
Yeah, they all have to have a 2. They have to have that in common. So I'm going to put a 2 on this one, so now it's 2x squared and 2x squared. And that one needs a 2 and an x. Okay, so you have to make sure that if it already has an x, it still needs another x. They have to match exactly. Okay? Then from there, do they all have a 2x squared? So cross it out, cross it out, cross it out. And then you're just left with what's left over on the top. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2x times 1 is 2x. 10 is by itself. Oh, that one was easy. Why did we do that? -2 minus 2. Okay, then 2x is 8. Last step. Good. X is 4. Yeah. Okay. And then on number 1, right next to it, do you see that if you only have 2 fractions, that's just less that you have to fix, right? So, like, what are you going to times the 4 over x side with?
8.
An 8. And what are you going to times the 8 side with? An x. Okay, so it's the same process. You're just giving each side what the other side has. So he needs an 8 over 8. He needs an x over x. And now, do they both have an 8x on the bottom? Then that means they have a common denominator. You're allowed to cancel it out. Okay? On the top, 8 times 4 is 32 equals, and then that would be written as what? Okay, now, we did practice solving these already. Can you square root right now? No, you have to get rid of the 2. Good. So the first thing that I'm going to do is reverse these, because you know I like having the 2x squared on the left. Okay, but I don't care if you skip that. That's up to you if you need to do that or not. So I switch my sides around, then I'm going to divide by 2 first, then square root second. So x squared is 16. And then when you square root, very good, we remembered up here, when you square root a number, it's plus or minus that number. So it'll be plus or minus 4. So that one actually has 2 numbers, plus or minus 4. Okay? Alright, you should be good. Flip over to the back. Just to kind of remind you, I know we did these with numbers, but some people in 5th forgot it. Say you're doing like number 10. Okay, what is your least common multiple if one of them is a 3, one of them is a 6, and one of them is a 2? 6. You want them all to have a number that they can all match on. So if it's 2 over 3, 3x minus 1 over 6, and then 5 over 2, you have to think about what can all of those numbers match at. Now, could they all match at like 12? Sure, but you want the smallest number. So if they can all be a 6, make them all a 6. What would I times this first fraction by? 2 over 2. And now is that the same as a 6 on the bottom? So we have a 6, we have another 6. What do we need to times this one by? 3 over 3. So remember that it is possible for your common denominator to not have an x. That's allowed. Okay? So then what would my equation be after I cross out my 6's?
3x minus 1 over 6 equals 15 over 6.
Perfect. And then remember that at that point, you drop the denominators and you're just solving the top. Okay? Now, when I put my bars down here, I can combine the 4 and the minus 1 because they're already together on the same side of the tracks, if you will. Okay, so 4 minus 1 gives me how many? 3 plus 3x. So I'm going to combine those first and then bring it across. Okay? So I did 4 and minus 1 gives me 3x. Then I'm going to minus the 3 off and keep solving from there. So 15 minus 3 gives me how many? 3x is 12. Divide by 3. X is 4. Good? Okay. So the plan for right now is that the homework on your desk, or actually the homework we just worked on, is extra credit. Write it at the top. Okay, extra credit. The non-optional homework is that we are doing our RIMS Write It today. This is an easy assignment because most of you don't like doing math. You can write a little paper just for today. Okay, good. I love it. Yes. So this homework is optional because your real homework is RIMS Write It. So get out a sheet of notebook paper. Huh? Did you already do the whole homework? So if you're not going to do both, you have to do RIMS Write It. RIMS Write It is for your grade, and then the homework is extra credit. Huh? So if you don't write, you'll get a 0 for a silly, easy assignment. Okay, so you ready? So it could be any day of the week, but if I wait till tomorrow and someone's absent, then I have to track them down next week and make them do it. Versus if I do it today, I have tomorrow still, in case anyone's absent. Okay, so I need you to get out a sheet of paper and put the following heading. Okay, now listen, if you don't do it, I'm going to make you do it later. So let's just do it now.
Wait.
Easy 100. You can all write a few sentences.
Wait, this is
Nope, today's the day.
What if we did this homework?
No, you can't take it out of the room. You have to do it now.
No, I know, but I'm saying, what if this homework that is extra credit?
Can you just do it? Can you just do it? Thank you. So easy. Huh? It depends what subject it's for. No, everybody's doing it now. Nobody's doing it tomorrow. You're here now. You're doing it now. It's easy. This should be the smallest homework assignment you've ever had. Write in English. You can all do that, okay? Yes. Sure. Yes. I will tell you in just a second. I need you to get out a sheet of notebook paper. Okay, sheet of, it can be from a spiral, that's fine. I'll even cut the little flicky things off if you want. Okay, the little pieces, I don't care if I need to cut them off for you.